Hey there, folks. I'm going to take my headset off for a second here. Good evening. Tonight's game is something a little bit different. As you can see, it's starting off a little bit differently. I promise you that tonight we are going to do our best to entertain you and to give you a few hours of fun, but before we do that, we felt it would be inappropriate to simply launch into our usual shenanigans without making a statement. In order that I not ramble through this or trip over my words, I've written some things down that I'd like to read quickly before we begin our show tonight. Myself and my friends with whom I make this show every week, like many of the folks here at Proficiency Bonus, are based out of the United States of America. As you are surely aware, it is currently a turbulent time in our country. We're in the midst of a global pandemic, and just as our hearts and our mental fortitude are being pushed to their limits by what is certainly the most divisive political time in my lifetime, there's been a boiling over of long-standing, deeply ingrained issues related to racial injustice, sparked by the tragic death of a black man by the name of George Floyd at the hands of a police officer. All of us in America and across the world have been brutally reminded that silence and complacency in the face of discrimination can no longer stand, and should never have been allowed to stand for as long as it has. Though our platform is small, and our megaphone might not have the amplification of a larger creator, we recognize that it is on all of us to make as much noise as possible until real change takes place. In that spirit, after last week's Blackout Tuesday, we've decided to continue keeping our normal campaign on pause, to try and use the tools at our disposal to help support the movement for justice and equality. So tonight we're doing two things. First, we have asked our friend Lip, who is launching a new show here on Proficiency Bonus, to do a special takeover episode and DM an episode of his new game, Tales from the Loop. As a fantastic DM, and an amazing creator of color, we are proud to have him showcase his storytelling gift with us tonight. If you enjoy the show tonight, we encourage you to absolutely follow his upcoming episodes. Hopefully some of you are still sticking with us from his very first premiere episode that aired just right before this. Second, this is one of the rare occasions where I would ask that anyone watching, if they are able, make a donation, either to us via bits or directly to an organization like Black Lives Matter or the American Civil Liberties Union. If you are able to spare some bits, myself and some of the others will be matching those donations out of pocket. Thank you, and please enjoy this special intro video before we start our show. Hey, we're live.
Hey folks,
All
how's
right,
it going?
Slip's turn.
How are you all doing this wonderful evening? It's me, Do Not Adjust Your TVs. I'm back to invade some more. We are here with Tabletop Legends. I am so excited to get into our second mystery. For any of you all who were able to join us earlier, you saw some stuff go down, some real things happen, and we're just going to dive even further into this wonderful, wonderful town that is Boulder City, Nevada. I'm just gonna jump in. I'm just gonna jump in. Any qualms, any introductions that anybody want to have? I'll have what I'll do for the system. Typically how the game goes. Give you guys a theme that'll introduce you guys into the world. One of the things about this game, for anybody who's just tuning in with us now, I love it because it's less so about me playing the DM and dictating the lives of these other people and the world of these other people. This story will be told collaboratively. Every piece that will happen, either I will turn it over to somebody and tell me how does this scene play out? How does this world look like? What is the place that they go to? Who is this NPC? I may throw a little bit of my own kind of flavor into things here and there, but ultimately we're making this world together. What's even more beautiful is that we're coming into a world that was already kind of created in that vein. So we also have a lot of juicy lore that we can tap into prior to, and we'll be seeing some of those like fun moments there as well. So without further ado, we are here in Boulder City. Lone wolves. Once again, fellow outcasts, loved misfits. We're back here once again in the year of 1984, the vacant side that is Boulder City, Nevada. Harvest sun eats away any lingering effects of the summer. Vegas seems to drift away further into the heated mirage. Mr. Stockhouse still sees potential in you. Dirtbag, right? Maybe this year won't be so harsh as freshman year. Maybe we'll manage to avoid being pulled up by our shorts on the school flagpole. Maybe Sadie and I will go to the fall sock hop and maybe even sneak off to Hemingway Park. Maybe not. It's a stupid idea. And so is this town. Junk around here seems to be representation of living in this good-for-nothing town. I guess the best bet is head over to our old, faithful, abandoned bunker and wait for the toxic waste that is being a teenager to wash away. The plight of growing up near a massive, towering stack is overwhelming. I guess you're here for our story. So, buckle up. This is our Tales in the Loop. So we'll start off. Have a zoom in to a counselor's desk. Let's start there. I want to bring you guys over to a quick map. Where are we at? Here we go. You go over to Boulder City High, the school where we take place. And we find ourselves zooming into an interesting kid. A little bit about yourself.
The screen is black for me. I don't know.
Yeah, so same here.
Let me see here.
Darn you, Fog of War.
Gotta love it, man.
Roll
Gotta
20!
Every single time.
Please
I
stand
see.
by. We are having
See,
technical difficulties.
You have to scroll a little bit. I should.
It's
I
bottom
can do
left.
this a little bit. There we go.
Oh, there we are.
I
I
see
just
it.
moved you. There you go.
Okay. There we are.
Okay, zoom in.
Super tiny. Small room.
Big sports field.
Okay. All right. So, would you like me to tell you about myself in character or out of character?
And introduce yourself out of character, and then we can describe who you are in character.
Okay. I am playing Eric Whittaker, a young 13-year-old. Eric is quite the eccentric. He is an aspiring apprentice magician. He never goes anywhere without his trusty top hat and cape. And he has dreams of becoming a magician. And in true spirit of the game, I not only shaved, but I also dug out my retainers to really get into character.
Love it.
I didn't prepare any props. I don't know if this is going to be rough.
Let's do this, bitch!
So you are set up here inside the guidance counselor's office.
Yeah.
What's his name is Mr.
Holden.
I'm going to show you guys an image of what Mr. Holden looks like. It's our pal, Mr. Holden, our guidance counselor.
Nice.
All right.
Boy.
Oh,
He
man.
sits at the
That's
desk.
certainly something.
So, Mr. Whitaker, we want to start this year off as best as we can. You know, really
Yeah,
we're on a little the charges here. Well, you got a hobby over the summer? You do something fun this year?
Yes, I have a big hobby. It's actually much more than a hobby. It's more of a passion.
Oh, if
So-
it's magic, can we let's take this time now to talk about education. You like math? You like science? You like
no.
PE? You like video games? You like video games? You look like a kid who would like video games.
They're okay, but what's really cool is close-up magic. I learned this really cool thing. You want to see it? Okay.
With video games, there's people who build stuff. They have to put it together and they sell it. You can sell video games. You like money? You like having money?
I guess money's cool, but like the only thing I really need money for is for like a bunch of rabbits to put in hats, and then also to buy the hats. That's what I need.
See that
It's
as
just
he
like
looks down, he
It's
kind
like a
of
constant struggle.
slowly opens a drawer, and you see that there's a flask just like right there waiting for him at the end of this conversation. Looks up and he says,
That's a responsible adult. You are there, Mr. Holden.
I'm gonna level with you here, kid. We got numbers that we gotta keep up. We gotta keep up a certain amount of success, and you know, I take that back. We want you to be successful. We want you to be as successful as possible. In doing that, you have to apply yourself to something more different than what you are right now. So I'm gonna help you.
So like maybe branching out and getting like an assistant. So I could like saw in half and stuff.
It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time, but we'll get there. Nevertheless, I just want you to understand something, kid. You gotta ask yourself what, and when the going is going, what are you gonna do about your life? Can't just wiggle your fingers and make hope that everything comes popping out like a bag of roses. You gotta apply yourself, calculate something.
So I think I hear what you're saying. And my response to that was this your card?
All right, kid. I'm gonna ask you to exit out of the room.
That seems fair.
I'll see you. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll work on that.
I'll get better. I'm getting better with sleight of hand.
As you get closer to the door, you hear him say under his breath, "Jeez, I don't understand why that kid just won't be more like his brother. God, a loser." And you leave out. It sits with you for a moment as he says that, and kind of left falling over the fact that an adult would say that so easily. And you hear in your ear, "Don't let that guy get to you. You got a real skill."
Who did that?
I don't see anybody around, but eventually you witness seems to be a floating table. And as you kind of get closer, you see kind of like a fog kind of mysticizing together a very gauche gentleman. You perceive to be as Harry Houdini. Who
Well,
levitates in the hallway.
this is certainly an unusual occurrence.
Oh, I come pretty often. I want to
Yeah, but
make
usually
sure that,
usually not at schools.
well, I don't know the science of these things. I'm merely here to be a guide in your life.
Well, that's like the coolest thing that's ever happened to anybody.
Oh, yeah, and it's about to get a lot cooler, kid, because you see, this year, I'm going to learn a very special trick.
I mean, just ask. You're the actual ghost of Harry Houdini, right? Not like just a really, really high quality, like child kidnapper, right?
Looks
This is not
left,
some
and then
really impressive long con.
he looks right. He allows you to kind of ask this question for a moment, and you see him kind of pull at his collar a bit, and he's like, "Yeah, kid, I'm the real deal. I'm 100% magical. Listen, I need you to learn this trick this year. I've been
Okay.
working on it, and I think this may be the year that the world may be ready for it. I need
Floating
to.
rabbit? Because I already tried that. It didn't work.
Oh no! This magic trick that I have in mind is much more than a rabbit can come up with. You go into the woods often?
Not really. Not really an outdoorsy kid.
Let's change that. You see that he kind of goes to kind of place his hand on your shoulder, and before that happens, you actually get shoulder checked. And as you get shoulder checked, you see a person who you all would know. I'm going to show you is the infamous, from anybody who watched the last game, Pete Wesker. Pete Wesker is tall, 16 years old. He has very stringy brown hair with like little small like dyed strips in them. He has very, very kind of passionate, intense eyes. You see that he's kind of smoking a cigarette, walking past you, and he how do I explain this? He seems like if you say the wrong thing to him, he just might try to bite you with his actual physical teeth. If that could be a visual representation in some way. But I'll go ahead and show you that character. Pete Wesker.
Hey Pete, how's it going? I don't think you're supposed to be smoking in here.
Shut up,
But
loser.
that's cool. Okay.
Still going to school here?
Yeah, it's the beginning of the school year, so yeah, that's how it works.
Listen, tell your brother that I'm gonna need his services pretty soon. Do that for me.
Yeah, I guess.
Nice. You're a good kid. He's gonna hit you on top of the head, and your hat kind of sinks in. It's a little bit too big for your head, and you see that he's actually going to use the cigarette to kind of put out on the top of your shoe. And he steps on your shoe as he walks away. You're going, loser. He walks away. Zoom out to a different portion of the town, of the high school actually, and we're here in our field.
Oh, it focused.
Hey Eric, not Eric, Zach.
Yes,
Why don't you
sir.
tell me what you are doing here in the field?
I certainly can. As soon as I
You can tell us
finish,
a little bit about yourself.
I definitely can. Just get the good old map centered for our viewers at home. So, I am Zach Woodakay. I am 15 years old, and I am the bee's knees. Everybody says so. I am. I have kind of short, clean cut, like dark brown, almost black hair. I'm thin, kind of athletic in build, and pretty much everybody can agree that I am just about the fastest kid in the entire town. And who wouldn't want to be my friend? I'm awesome.
What are you doing now in the field as we watch you kind of? Are you practicing?
Am I by myself?
You are not actually. You
Okay.
have off to the rafters here in the corner area. You see somebody that you've come to know very, very, very intimately over the summer. Sadie Tanner. She is somebody that just kind of moved into town not too long ago, but she kept in contact with you when she was younger, and she didn't really like know how to talk to you. But for some reason, when she went over to finish out middle school in Vegas, you two kind of got closer as she moved away further, and now she's back in town, and you took no time whatsoever to ask her out, see what she's up to. And when you asked her on a date, she was very happily obliging. And now she's sitting in the rafters, just kind of looking off to you as you do your thing.
Okay. I'm not sure kind of what time of day it is, but maybe I'm supposed to be in class right now and I'm not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm out on the soccer field and I'm probably just kind of like sort of like kicking and dribbling a soccer ball that I found stuck under the bleachers around a little bit in the field, close enough to kind of be having a conversation with Sadie as as I sort of just do this athletically, showing off maybe a little bit, but mostly just kind of trying to occupy myself. I don't like to stay still. I always got to be moving a little bit. And
Sadie kind
yeah,
of
that's
calls
what I'm
out, and she's like, how long have you been like playing this way? You're like so good. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's actually pretty funny. I've never played soccer before today. I guess I'm just naturally good at it. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh my gosh, that is really weird.
I'm
Do
kidding.
you like?
I'm kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
oh,
No,
oh, okay. I knew that. I definitely knew that. I'm not lame. Where you just see her kind of like look kind of concerned.
I say no. I used to play with my mom a lot, and it's something to do. I don't like to. I don't like to sit around. Seems like a waste of energy.
Yeah, well, there's something to do around these parts. Not much going on. Ever. Sucks being back here.
Wow, compared to Vegas, I can't imagine. This place is the pits. There's nothing ever to do around here except, well, get in trouble, I guess.
That's true. Oh, my sister came into town too. She was talking about like maybe having some, like outdoor time, hanging outside and going fishing and camping and stuff like that. Seems
Yeah.
like it would be pretty cool.
Yeah. But that'll be fun.
And you get a chance to do a lot of that back in Vegas because, mom says that gambling is the devil's music.
Seems like your mom doesn't understand analogies.
No, she drinks a lot.
Oh, well, that got dark. Do you ever play soccer? I say, changing the subject.
I don't think that I ever played before. I will show you all, for those who have not seen before. Lady Tanner seems to be a pretty well put together individual. Uh, she keeps her clothes very neat. She always has a book in hand. She's just generally likable by everybody in town. This is her. Makes her way out to the field. She's like, you can teach me.
I say, all right, but you have to be willing to learn. It's a very complicated game.
Can't be any more complicated than calculus.
That's true.
I will say, we'll make this the first roll.
Okay.
As you're going to teach her how to play, why don't I have you go ahead and make me a charm check?
Okay.
I'll explain what this is. As long as you get one success, you're good. If you're doing something much more difficult, then it may set the stakes a little bit higher.
Here's this. I have too many windows open.
Yep, I definitely feel that.
0 successes. No.
No.
Yeah, 0 successes.
So, you're showing her, and she seems a bit over enthusiastic as you're kind of like teaching her. So she's like, "Do I like do that thing?" And she kind of sets herself up like she's about to be like hut hike, and you're going in for a kick, and in the midst of it, you punt the ball straight into her face, knocking her back quite a bit. Actually, she gets some distance as you accidentally do that. She kind of stands up and you see that her nose like slowly starts to bleed a bit, and she's like, "Oh, that was fun. This is great. I enjoy this game. I'm gonna
I kind of
leave."
like. I'm like. I'm a huge doofus, and pretty much the biggest idiot on the planet. And maybe we should go to the nurse.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna you play, you silly goober, and she's gonna keep on walking. And as she kind of coughs, you kind of see that she kind of holds something in her hand, and she kind of covers it up. You get a sense that she may have probably lost a tooth.
I like try to follow her a little bit. I'm like, are you sure you don't want me to come with you? I can.
As you kind of reach out, we zoom out from there, and we're brought into a not too far in the basketball court area. You see this kind of newly polished basketball floor, freshly hooked nets, and we go right past that basketball hoop and through this door into this very kind of burly locker room area. It seems fairly empty, but you can see all of like aggressive like powerhouse scratches, and in the back corner here we see our friend here, Tommy. Tommy, you are in this locker messing with something. What are you messing with?
I am currently trying to fix a wire in a Walkman because I was asked by Zach to fix somebody's Walkman, and he and I would split the money from the person that originally brought Zach the Walkman for repair.
Um,
Come on.
just as an initial roll, why don't you go ahead and make me a tinker?
Okay. Let's see. Tinker. There it is.
Nope. So
I
you
can.
got one
I
success.
can.
You can also, in this moment, ask me any two questions, and I can kind of tell you more about it. You can find out, obviously, what its purpose. You probably know that already. Um, what's the one thing that gets it to like really work? Know how to use it. You can figure out who built it and what were the kind of problems what they did when they built it. You can figure out if it's legal or not, and you can figure out what the original problem was. So you can ask me any one of those two questions.
Let me see.
Or two of those questions. Sorry.
Okay. The first would be what was originally wrong with it as I'm fixing it.
As you kind of look at it, you see that the tape deck usually has two guards on either side to hold it in so that it can perfectly go into the prong so it can spin. It seems like the two guards have broken off, and every time you slide the tape into the cassette holder and close it, it can't quite go all the way in because it goes too far down. So you get a sense that you probably have to remake the bracers around this tape deck so they can fit perfectly and let the prongs go into the right hole.
Oh man, this is gonna take longer. Gonna need some more parts. I'm not gonna be able to do it today. Ugh. Crap. Let me see. The second question is, who is the maker?
You get that it's actually Sony. It's a Sony maker. They do pretty good job with like hard tech on the outside, but for some reason the plastic work is just not good. You know, good quality plastic work when you work with electronics because you know it's got to burn a lot of electricity through it. So you got to have a really nice core electronics on the core plastic on the outside of it. It's not your favorite. It has not been your favorite brand. Casio is the number one. That's the one that you really go for.
Okay.
But nevertheless, you're working on this. You're putting it together. It takes you a little bit longer because the prongs are a little bit harder. You actually get walking through the area. You actually do see one of the coaches, Coach Pearson, and walks past, and he's like, "Hey, son, yeah, what are you doing in the lockers right now?"
Oh, I'm sorry, Coach Pearson. I'd forgotten something from PE earlier, and I was coming back to get it.
Oh, okay. It just looks like a little bit like you're trying to avoid people.
Sorry, hang on. I've got to turn up my volume. I didn't hear part of that.
You're trying to avoid people? Seems like you're trying to avoid somebody.
No, I just forgot my socks when I was changing out from PE, so I didn't want to leave them there. Otherwise, they're going to disappear, and well, yeah.
All right, I understand that sometimes you forget your socks. Just want to let you know, kid, you can't always be forgetting your socks. You know, sometimes you gotta put yourself out there and just like go barefoot in the world. You know, it's like let it be free. And you also you gotta make sure the socks are in your pocket so you're not forgetting them. Understand what I mean by this, don't you?
I think so.
Really, what I'm trying to say is you're looking a little bit like someone's going to beat you up. And I don't want you to have a bully. I want you to be strong enough to handle your own business. You know, you be a man. You know.
Okay. I'll try to be stronger. holds up a very scrawny arm.
Glad we had this conversation. Probably have to ask you to leave out very quickly. There's definitely nothing that's about to go on here, but you probably don't want to be here when it happens.
Okay. He grabs grabs the pair of socks that are in the open locker behind him. He stuffs them in his gym bag along with the Walkman and the multi-tool he was working with. Zips up the duffel and makes a quick beeline out the door.
He waits till you get like almost all the way to the door, and he says, "You're a good runner, kid. You can run really, really fast. You should probably consider being a part of the track team sometime."
Okay. I'll see about signing up next time it's open.
Oh,
Thanks, Coach.
The sign-ups. Oh, okay. We zoom out of that very awkward situation, and we are brought.
Should have claimed having super asthma.
We are brought here into
Regular asthma, but you wear a cape.
bathroom. We find our last player, our last team member. Why don't you go ahead and describe who we are seeing, Mr. Chuckling?
All right. Well, Chuck is little Chuck Romano here. He is a very he seems like he's on edge a lot of the time. And he has dyed his hair bright green because that's what you do. When people are gonna be giving you a hard time anyway, you might as well give them a reason to look.
Absolutely. What are you doing in this bathroom right now?
Definitely flushing stuff down the toilet before somebody comes in.
Fair. What is it that we are flushing down a certain toilet? I'll say you are probably in this stall. Oh, gotta put this in the second stall here.
Let's move you. He's in here. He is flushing bags of some sort of plant material.
Okay.
Just trying to jamming it down in there.
As this is happening, you see a individual walking into the bathroom. Surprisingly enough, Tommy, you would know who this person is. You all would know who it is, but Tommy, you're very close with this individual. Mr. Stackhouse, or as he likes to tell everybody, call me Neil. He walks in and he's very kind of put together, kind of nerdy, has a little bit of elbow grease kind of here and there, but he seems to do much of the works. You know him as the wood shop worker. He also teaches a little bit of science. He did anatomy that one year. You're familiar with him. He just doesn't seem to like connect with you very well. Seems to connect with some more of your other friends as the cool teacher. But this is Neil. And
He looks like a Neil.
He's like, what you doing there, son?
Hey, Mr. Stockhouse.
I
I had some, Mr. Neil. Then, I had some bad breakfast. I think I had some bad milk today, and he just flushes the toilet.
Oh well, that can't be good. No, you know what I find is that if you actually give them a little bit of light meniscus fluid, a little bit of water, and a little bit of 2% milk works a little bit well. Cleanses the stomach and does wonders for your system. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, my grandpa says 2% milk is for communists.
Oh, he sounds like a lovely guy. So which class are you taking this year?
You know, I was gonna take some wood shop. I didn't know if there was any more openings.
Oh, that would be great. I would love to have you in my class, son. You know, I might look at a a bright young face like you. I think I used to be that age. I used to do silly things. Oh man, I used to do so many silly things. You see that he kind of turns to look in the mirror, and he looks at the mirror for maybe about like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, press it on 4 minutes. Anyway, you did you sign up for the wood class? We're having the little clubhouses after school. You definitely sign up.
Yeah. Sure. Where exactly do you want me to sign up at?
Yeah, the billboard, right in front of the principal's office. There's the big billboard that says
Yeah. The billboard.
sign up for clubs. Yep, yeah. Just write your name on there. Make sure
Yeah.
you put actual name. There's those folks who you put butt on anything, they'll make it fun.
Oh no, I wouldn't do anything like that. That's totally out of character.
Yeah. Well, I will be looking forward to seeing you there. It'd be great. You ever use a jigsaw before?
We have a few tools at the house in the shed.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's real thrilling. It's how do you kids say it? It's real funkalicious. No, it's real. It's so grand. It's real swell.
Yeah, swell. Yeah. Mr. Stockhouse, I gotta go. Thank you.
Cool.
I will definitely be signing up shortly, and he'll just like beeline it, just leave.
You race out, and all are kind of evacuating the area of your most uncomfortable happenstances. Sure, soon enough, each of you all kind of come kind of colliding into the same hallway. And you all surprisingly hear the bell ring as it seems like this is the last class for the day. You do notice that as you guys kind of walk past the cafeteria area, it seems to be a really bad stench, like an incredibly bad stench that just kind of wafts through the hallways. And you all, it seemed like smell has to be from one of the maintenance people that you come to know as Mr. Allen. His nickname, Mr. Farty. He just has the worst smell wherever he goes. And many of you all just know that smell has to be him, but he must have done a real number to the bathroom recently. You all kind of congregate right in front of the cafeteria, and you start to see some other folks just be like, "Oh God!" And you see some of the other kids kind of pointing at each other and blaming each other. But you all congregate. How do you all meet each other?
Oh my God, you guys! I blasted Sadie in the face with a soccer ball. I suck so much.
Oh man!
I don't know if I'm trying too hard. Like, oh my God, I can't stop making an idiot of myself.
I'm just gonna grab Zach by the scruff of the shirt. It's like, what did you do? What did you do?
We were on the soccer field, and I found a soccer ball under the bleachers, and she asked me if I could teach her how to play soccer, which I assumed was a joke because like you kick a ball, and then she did a thing where she was like setting it up to punt it, but that's football, and I got confused, and I kicked it, and it hit her so hard in the face, and then she ran away from me, and like I keep making an idiot out of myself in front of her, and I think I need you guys to maybe just like smash my head in one of your lockers and just end it because I can't anymore.
All right, let's go.
Hey, wait.
I don't know a lot about girls, but
obvious, yes.
Shut. But from a magazine that I found in the woods one time, I don't know that balls to the face is necessarily a bad thing.
Well, if you'd like some good news, Zach, I fixed Jimmy's Walkman.
Oh well, that's good. I think. Well, I guess hang on to it for now. I don't know when he wants to get it back, but Well, that'll be good. We can definitely afford to probably go out and get a burger or something later if he pays up for that.
Hey,
Okay.
you guys seen Pete Wesker around lately?
I don't think so. Why?
No.
Just keep an eye out. He's gonna be real angry, probably towards the end of class.
What did
I
you
saw
do?
earlier. I remember that. Is he the one I ran into?
Yeah, he
He's
is.
absolutely
That
the
is the
one.
one you.
Yeah, I saw him. He was smoking a cigarette in the social studies hall. So
Oh,
typical day here.
You don't look like he pushed you onto the floor, so I'd say that went pretty well.
Yeah. He definitely didn't assault me like usual.
That's good. I remember spending 3 periods in my locker because of him last year.
Yep, haven't we all? He did tell me to tell you something, and it was something important.
Me?
It was really important, so important that I probably should have written it down.
Because I love this so much. You're trying to think of it, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hey, loser!" Racing down the hall.
I lean
What?
out from behind Eric's top hat to look down the hall past him.
Chuck, why don't you tell me what it is that's got him so angry?
his locker may have been broken into, and he may have lost all of the plant matter that was in his locker.
Ooh. He comes up straight to you and he says, "I know one of you losers did it for you." And he goes to grab the collar of Tommy and picks him up off of the ground.
Nope. I'm gonna get myself between him and Tommy and just grab his collar back.
You want to go, Poncho?
You got no proof, and we got witnesses. You want to start this now, or you want to do this later?
You call him Poncho?
Go on,
He's not-
Never mind. Sing at it.
He's not very bright. Just saying this to me, like in his face, but like just looking at him.
I
not very
am trying to look as well, I am trying to fade into the floor, and it is not working at all.
You want to go?
I sort of interject as they're nose to nose, and I go can we maybe put our testicles and packages back in our pants for a second and just what exactly are we supposed to have done?
You all clearly took my product. One of you probably got it up your buttholes.
And I kind of I look sort of in our general vicinity. Is there other people around us in the hallway?
There's folks passing. You get some folks that are instigators that are just sitting there and being like, "Oh man, this is gonna get good," because they see the nose to nose action and they're just waiting for someone to say, "Let's go outside."
Are they any adults in the vicinity?
I would say not immediately. You figured that obviously they're probably going to be making their way, especially you guys are about. I just opened it for you all. You all are about right here. About right here. And so you get a sense that the teacher in this class is just waiting for all the students to flood out, and then it seems like that teacher will probably come. And then there's also folks kind of going into the cafeteria. Surprisingly, as you kind of look around too, it's folks who are kind of walking into the cafeteria and immediately U-turning it and then covering their face and walking out. Seems like Mr. Farty had a nice beef and bean burrito.
I go. I just look at Pete and I go, and I raise my voice to sort of an unnecessary level, and I go, "What product are you talking about, Pete?"
You shut your mouth. You don't want me going around telling folks what your secret is, buddy.
Don't you?
I'm gonna as he's trying to yell at him, I'm gonna try to just yank him to refocus back to me. He's like, "We're not done talking. What are you talking about?"
I'm gonna have my fair heyday with all of you all.
Well, you're certainly having a hair day. I don't know if anybody told you this, but
Hey,
that is
somebody's
not
selling your
working for you.
product.
All of you shut up. Just such your dumb faces.
Nope. Nope.
I'm gonna,
Gotta be quicker than that, Pete.
you just see that he's slowly
Here.
boiling.
Look, it
you
smells
see-
like boiled butt cheeks in this hallway. So can we not today, Pete? Come on.
I think one of the lunch ladies might have died.
A while ago, and no one's found her yet, and I don't want to be here when they do. So can we?
That's
Can
what
we
happened to the
just
one
not,
with the
Pete?
really big mole.
he
Who
looks,
always spoon the macaroni with her hands.
he sees you all
And
kind of
not
like
the
discriminate
spoon.
into the conversation, and he just like points
Is
a
that-
finger at you, Chuck, and he's like, "Sit and over with."
Flagpole,
Pretty
4
over.
o'clock.
Fine, buddy. Starts backing away. As soon as he's backing away, you, Zach and Eric, catch in the corner of your eye somebody who you were not expecting to see today on literally the third day of school. It is Papa Sheriff in town, as Detective Mark Whitaker is walking through the halls, and he sees the two of you all.
Oh.
And you see him kind of grind his teeth. And I'm going to show you guys what Detective Whitaker looks like.
As he's like marching towards us, I just like turn to Eric and I go, "Is that lunch lady you're talking about the one you ate lunch with like all of last year?"
Yeah,
Oh,
Rose.
she was nice. Dad.
Son?
Hi, Detective Whitaker.
Oh, boys. What are y'all doing around here?
Cool.
Seeing as
That's
this is
what
the
we do.
school, I would ask what you're doing here.
Seems that there was a case last night. I got a more going around here. Did you all, like, go in the classrooms or something? Like, looks over at you, Eric, and he kind of, like, knocks off the hat. He's like, please, continue not do that in public. Looks around as people watch. Forces you to kind of put the hat into your chest.
Yes, sir.
You all just stand around in the hallway between classes all the time? Don't you, like, study or hustle at all?
Out of character. School is over right now, or
Yeah, school is
okay.
over.
Well, school is over, so we were all kind of getting ready to leave.
All right, fine. You too. You come with me. Give me a ride home. So the kids
I don't take the bus if that's cool.
turns and looks at you. He's like, "Don't make me say it again."
No bus. Got it. Screw the bus. Forget the bus. Doesn't exist. There's no bus.
Looks at the other two of you all and just says, "You two stay out of trouble." And he looks at you, Chuck, and he's like, "Especially you."
I don't talk to cops.
If you just talk to a cop, Chuck.
He just turns around and just leaves.
You two are escorted by Officer Dad past the pole.
Wave bye, Eric.
Bye.
You get to the front of the school and you see that he opens the back door and he like points for both of you all to get in.
Can you not push our heads down this time?
No promises.
I can just walk. I don't know why you insist on doing this.
Get in the car.
Fine. I get in.
I'll kind of have this square off as he gets in the car. I believe that you two probably wouldn't leave eye contact all the way into the moment where both of you all are seated in the car.
Yeah.
And even then, he's probably looking through the windshield, the review mirror to stare at you as you get in the car. He starts up the car. He starts driving. He doesn't say much at all. He like keeps looking through the mirror, specifically at you, Zach. So, what did you all learn at school today?
I learned that when your dad is a cop, he can show up anywhere he wants and forcibly take you places. Also,
No.
math.
I learned the Pythagorean theorem.
He
A
lets you
squared
kind
plus
of
b squared equals c squared.
he lets you kind of stutter, and he kind of talks over you speaking. He's like, you could show a little bit of appreciation sometimes. You know that.
For the Pythagorean theorem?
Oh, no, son, no. Look, I'm trying here, okay? It's something.
I mean, I guess the bare minimum is certainly something.
This is a bad idea. Well, he pulls over. He's like, "Ooh, go do whatever you want to do, but just try not to disappoint me."
I sort of he's letting us out of the car, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I get out and I sort of like roll my eyes, and I like stuff my hands into the pockets of my jacket, and I sort of like lean over towards the window, and I'm like, Dad, if you want to have a conversation with us, you can just do it. You don't have to come to school and strong arm us into the squad car beforehand.
Son, not everything is about you. Some of us have jobs.
Something has to be about us at some point.
Just look after your brother. That right at
yeah.
least. You see him kind of pull off skids and tire, and he turns on the alarm, the sirens, right as he's like about to peer off, just to give you guys that like ring in your ear, and then he turns it off as he gets further away.
So like shake my hand. I'm like, I should have known better than to try to offer the olive branch. Whatever. Bunker.
I guess.
All right.
Although I guess I like look at my sweet like Funko digital watch, and I'm like, do we have to go stop Chuck from committing first-degree murder in front of the school shortly? Should we go
I
back?
look at my handy dandy swatch and I go, I should really put batteries in this. Sure, I guess.
Is it? I guess what school lets out like 3:30 typically, right?
Yep. So you guys got a solid 30 minutes to walk back, and the thing is, Bus is driving pretty fast, so you got probably a good 15 minutes on you.
All right, so like let's go. Like the man can't be controlled, and Tommy and I have fixed like 3 Walkmans this month. I've got like $4.50. I can't afford his bail. Like we got to stop him from getting in this fight.
Also,
All right.
I managed to get these off Dad, and I hold up his handcuffs.
Yes. You can go ahead and add handcuffs to your items list.
Okay.
I will say...
The cape hides a lot.
I would say you get a +1 on Tinker.
Okay.
I just like You have got to stop doing that.
I'll stop doing it when he stops leaving him where I can get him.
He bought that special issue belt. Like it's
Yeah, and he stupidly left the manual lying around.
Little did you know he accidentally left the cuffs from the last arrest in the back seat, and it was just sitting there to be picked up. But you all make it eventually back to the flagpole. And as you're at the flagpole,
So Chuck is not at the flagpole.
interesting.
Chuck took Tommy to the roof of the school to watch Pete from a distance get more and more impatient at the flagpole.
You all watch as he goes like around.
This is you see this much of Tommy over the lip of the ceiling.
You see he goes around this pole once, 3 times a lady, and just keeps circling and circling, and his face is getting redder and redder. And then you see that there's a small crowd kind of gathering around the circle, just like waiting for things to happen. So he stops.
Grandpa taught me this tactic.
Da-dum. Da-dum. Dun, 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 dun,
1 year too early.
With a case, you come up and you notice that there is seems to be a crowd brewing. You can't quite see any of the major players just yet. It seems like it's actually starting to brew pretty UFC level. So you're just like trying to find your way through the crowd. How are you two trying to handle the crowd?
I'm gonna just kind of approach. I assume I recognize somebody, and just kind of like.
You do. You recognize a girl with a huge bandage over her forehead, her nose, and her upper lip. Just covered.
I walk up and I stop like 5 feet from behind her, and I'm like, be cool, don't mess it up. Sadie, how's your face?
Oh, it's fine. It's totally fine. They just have to put this over here for just like postulation. It's totally good. Did you have fun playing soccer afterwards?
I have taken a vow to never touch a soccer ball again so long as my mortal existence continues.
Oh, well, that's too bad. It seemed like you were pretty good at it for a while. But hey, what are you doing now? Are you about to? Do you know what's going on? I just kind of followed everybody else out here.
I was gonna ask you what was going on.
Oh, seems like there's gonna be a fight or so. You see, Wesker's getting pretty angry.
I kind of like. I'm like, is who's Wesker fighting?
I don't know. He just isn't. He's just walking around by himself. I don't really see anybody with him. Sometimes I hear that, these people kind of chicken out last minute. Maybe he's just gonna blow off.
Unless Chuck turns invisible with magic.
I'm like, I'm like, maybe. More likely that he, I'm like, more likely that he put one of his grandpa's landmines by the flagpole. Maybe we should like try and get Chuck to leave.
As soon as this is happening, he looks over and he sees that you're trying to whisper over to Sadie over the crowd, and he takes from his back. He has this wooden kind of like barrel BB gun and points in your direction. He's like,
Chuck does. No, Pete does.
Pete does.
Okay.
You there? Want to tell your friend not to be such a wuss? And he pulls the trigger. You all can decide, either Zach or Eric. You can make me a move check.
as soon as Chuck sees that he's like attacking somebody else instead of just being mad for no reason, like he's gonna like run down the stairs and like actually put himself there.
I'll make
crap.
a move.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! I'm.
I'll make a move
There's
check.
a solid 10 seconds of him saying that. Then he starts scurrying after Chuck.
I already did it.
Oh, okay.
But we both did.
Oh, I didn't do it yet. I didn't get my spreadsheet up.
I did not success.
So,
You did.
you go. I'll give it to the higher player. You go to see this like BB gun kind of go up to kind of fire off, and the thing that you see immediately is that it is square off, aimed not directly at you, but indirectly at you, which seems to be very directed at Sadie.
Okay.
And he pulls the trigger, and you immediately go to kind of grab to turn, and the BB gun hits you so hard in your arm, you kind of feel the like vibration of your shoulder kind of jiggle, and you go to like fall, and you see that you're about to like body slam Sadie onto the concrete, so you kind of skid yourself over and land on the same shoulder that you got shot on to kind of save her, and both of y'all just kind of hit the ground. I would say by that time, Chuck, you would have just been coming down as they hit the floor.
Gotcha. Well, I will be sprinting with a trench knife out, and I'm going to leap on Pete and like just kind of put the like try to put the knife up to like his neck as I wrestle him to the ground.
So I'm like on the I basically like Mr. Presidented Sadie at this point.
Yep.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just like I turn around and I go like I kind of like roll off her and I'm like, are you hit?
Oh my god, you're such a hero.
And I like
so much.
I just like wink at her, and I assume I hear the thundering approach of knife wielding Chuck at this point. So I just give her I give her a wink, and I'm like, I'm gonna try and stop a murder from happening, and I just like I do one of those cool like what are these things? And I'm like, yeah, jump to my feet.
It's not as beautiful as you quite imagined it to be.
It's okay, as long as I imagined it to be beautiful, that's all that matters.
Exactly. And as you do so, it is my job as the narrator of the story, as our lovely players who are playing before have noticed. It is my job as the narrator to announce when trouble is afoot.
Oh, trouble, boys.
So, a knife being pulled out after running outside of from outside of school, lets everyone know that there was a knife that was being brandished inside of the school. You all will be coming up on some serious trouble. Obviously speaking, the Whitakers, you definitely anticipate trouble with Dad at home. I would say, Chuck, you probably have a feeling like there's somebody official that's going to show up and ask questions about this. And for some reason, Tommy, you're not even quite sure who you're going to be in trouble with. You just feel like the ominous trouble is about to happen.
The trouble.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
It does.
Did you come down from the roof, or are you just hiding out on the roof?
I spent about 10 seconds going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, and then I started scurrying after Chuck.
Okay.
And it's just me running down the stairs going, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Through the halls, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Out the door, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. He's probably got a good 200, 250 feet on me because he's,
barreling through.
Yeah, he's sprinting, I am scurrying.
The two of you all then, with that much time, you're scrapping it out. I want you to make me a force roll.
All right. Do I get the benefit of my item?
Use the voice, Chuck.
Yes, you can use your trench knife as a form of threat.
All right. Do you need me to make a force?
You can roll. You should be able to roll your trench knife as a roll. There's a little dice next to it.
Got it. Ooh, that's not great.
Yeah, so you go to actually try and fight him, and you're using this trench knife to kind of aim at him without actually hurting him. But in doing so, as you guys tussle, the blade kind of catches to the bottom of his chin, and it slices a good gash underneath his jaw. And in that fear, he goes and he just launches a fist right in your face. You get a hit to the nose and a hit to the eye. It seems like your nose may be broken. It's a little bit of blood coming loose, and then you definitely start to see swelling just beneath the eye. You will take the condition of hurt.
I see angry, scared, exhausted, injured, and broken.
Injured. That's what it is.
Gotcha.
Now, conditions, if you can see on your little sheet there, it's a minus die. Depending on how many conditions you have, you will take one success off. So let's hope that you guys don't stack up on those. Might need to, recuperate and heal some of these things. Anyone in the group who is a leader and choose to inspire that person to kind of help alleviate some of that condition, or otherwise you can just go to your anchor or the bunker and you can heal conditions there. You take that nice punch to the face, and as this scuffle is happening, everybody sees the blade kind of shank the bottom of his chin, and outpouring comes. You tell me, who in this school would be the worst person to see you shanking somebody in the front?
100%. Mr. Stockhouse.
Yep. Mr. Stockhouse comes running out, and he's just like, "Oh no! This is no!" And he goes to pull back, and he's like, "Is that a blade?"
He shot my friend. I'm not gonna take this laying down.
Oh no! You boys, this is wild. This is absolutely
Mr. Stockhouse. Oh no.
All right. We're gonna have to do something about this. And as he's kind of picking both of you up by the collar, he turns to turn around, and to add insult to injury, Neil sees at the top of the stairs of the school another police officer who is walking out, who also seems to have been left by the detective. You all know her as Officer Harris, Carol Harris. And she already seems like she's had a rough day. As she's coming down the stairs, she just got done talking with the principal, and Neil and Officer Harris take a look at each other, and he's like, "Oh, well, this is tricky. Miss Harris, do you have a moment?" And I'm going to show you what she looks like. Is Officer Harris. She just gives that look. She doesn't say anything. She just gives that solid look. He's like, "Great. I'm glad I had you at an appropriate time. Can do me a favor and what the hell to do with this?" And he's just pointing at the gun and the knife that are being pointed at each other. And Officer Harris just like looks at both of you, wide-eyed, but also very, very angry. She kind of pinches her nose, and she's like, "Oh, great. Hey, kids, I'm gonna have to take you into the station for a bit. Come with me." And Mr. Harris is gonna walk between the two of you all. Notice that she walks up to the street where a car should be. She realizes that it's not there. She sighs once more. She's like, "Come on, you two. We're walking." And she starts to.
I'm gonna thumb my bloody nose and just like try to rocket out some of the blood snot onto Pete.
You see that he kind of elbows you in the gut at the same time. Officer Harris stops as she turns and looks at both of you with zero amusement on her face.
I kind of like jog up around the group over to her, and I'm like, "Yeah, our dad left you, didn't he?"
I just want to have a single day. I don't have to deal with this. And she just kind of like sees you, catches her breath. You go into the station as well?
I said I was a victim of a shooting, and I feel like I should come and give my statement, and perhaps provide a character witness for my friend who does not understand the concept of escalation. Chuck, Jesus.
All right.
He's just like
And also, I say as I come like something over. If you just want one day, but you don't have to deal with this, maybe different career paths. Like you're
Chuck will absolutely like just like laugh a little bit about it, but like just back
I
to
want
trying to be hard.
try and I think this is like a thing that my class of dude has like skills in. I want to kind of look at her and I say, is she a detective or she's officer?
You would know her as officer.
Okay. I go, Officer Harris. It already sucks enough that our dad is a huge dingleberry and left you here. But well, I was here for the whole thing, and like I said, I'm a victim in this. But it seems to me like Pete brought his BB gun to school and he shot me with it. And Chuck brought his knife to school and they got an altercation. So you know the old saying that two wrongs cancel each other out. I mean, nobody got hurt, right? Except for Pete, but I mean, look at him. It's an improvement, isn't it? I go.
She takes a moment.
I kind of like roll up my sleeve to show the BB gun welt, and I'm like, maybe if Pete and Chuck both agree to like cool it, we can call no harm, no foul, and we don't all have to go down to the station, and we don't have to catch a metric mountain of crap from our dad, and you don't have to deal with the paperwork, and you don't have to walk with a group of teenagers like 20 blocks to the station. What do you think?
You can go ahead. You can go ahead and roll me a charm. This is charm. It's on the borderline of empathize. I kind of want to say maybe more empathize.
I was going for charm, but whatever you think, or whichever one you want me to roll.
Cool. Let's go with charm because it's very close. And then because this is a harder check to make, this would be a little bit difficult. It would probably be 2 successes that you would need instead of 1.
Well, don't worry, because this is roll 20, and the way that it treats me with dice means I'm going to get 0, so it won't really matter. But...
Oh!
Wow.
Yes!
Wow.
Woo!
The dice gods have spoken.
To sweeten the pot, Officer Harris. What's this behind your ear? Ooh, it's a shiny quarter. That's for you. That's not a bribe. That's just also, I kind of need that back. I need that for lunch tomorrow.
Please don't let that negatively impact the decision that you have to make.
Just a move over success. She takes notice of you saying, at least no one was harmed. She looks at your shoulder with the bruise. She looks at the almost broken nose of Chuck. She looks at the kind of bruised up look of Pete, and she also catches the glance of a girl with a huge nose patch mask.
I'm looking at Chuck and Pete, and I'm like, nobody got permanently hurt, and we all learned our lesson, right, guys? And then I'm like, that's unrelated. Don't worry about that.
Meanwhile,
And
Tommy's
Eric's
back
like-
with
Eric's like
everybody
trying to,
there,
like-
and Sadie, he's just watching everything with really wide eyes. Just, oh
Eric-
god, oh
Eric
god.
is trying to do like misdirection.
You not
Uh,
even
You know,
realize
attention. Girl's
do the
face.
entire choreography of Lady Gaga's "Rain on Me," right?
This is 1984, okay? Lady Gaga isn't even a person yet.
He's got like,
No, she could be like a 6-year-old watching this as we speak and going,
And that's the day that
You
she
know,
knows.
I'm
This
gonna
is the
do
video.
that
Yep.
someday.
yeah, she goes to this school, and she saw this, and she's like, yes.
Yep, this is what's happening.
She's like, ooh,
Canon.
ooh, rah, ooh, rah, ooh, ama, ooh, that's a good idea.
Canon.
She looks at all of you and she
And
says,
then we're like, shut up, Stephanie, nobody likes you.
if you give me
I
that
think Stephanie's
BB gun,
nice.
give me that blasted knife, I will chalk
Stab him?
this all up to paperwork. She sticks a hand out for the knife and the gun.
I'm just incredulously staring at her.
Oh, kid, don't be a psycho murderer. Just put it in my hand.
That's what she said.
Chuck.
That's
Chuck.
what I think, yeah.
Chuck.
Fine.
Come.
I just-
She takes the knife and she takes the BB gun, and the same thing happens. She's trying to pull the BB gun away, and it seems like Pete is just holding on, and he eventually lets go. As she's like walking away, she hears Pete say, "Won't get away with this." And all of you are not quite clear who he's referring to specifically. Seems almost like he just frustratedly said this into the ether. And she kind of scoffs, rolls her eyes, and she's like, I hate this place. And she keeps on walking.
Tommy's gonna lean over since he's standing by, saying, like, you know, the villain always says that. Yeah, that you're not gonna get away with it, and
I don't know.
Yes?
I think that this is all pretty exciting. I think I want to go home. I'm getting a little lightheaded.
Holy
Kinda
crap,
like-
Sadie, how long have you been behind us? Oh my god!
She was laughing the whole time.
Oh.
Yes, it may be
I
true
didn't
that
hear her walk
Sadie is
up.
behind us. Maybe it's true that Sadie is behind us, but more importantly, I also got the handcuffs off Officer Harris.
I'd be like, I cannot do that.
why?
God,
What did I tell you about that?
Magic.
Eric?
oh, that trick is gonna work one time maximum. Please stop doing illegal things, you guys.
Yeah,
That whole quarter in the ear thing, just misdirection so I could get her handcuffs. I could have gotten a gun, but I didn't try that hard.
Eric, you're going
Don't
to
even joke about that.
add to your notes that you are now also in trouble with Officer Harris.
we in general are in trouble with Officer Harris, or
That is not to be determined yet. This whole situation probably definitely left her in a very bad taste for everyone. But specifically, it is known as DM. I'm announcing to Eric that he has trouble with Officer Harris specifically. But you all get a sense that you now seem to have put this all on Officer Harris to fix through paperwork. And walked away with the weapons. It is also known that, Chuck, you do not have an iconic item currently.
That won't be too long. Don't worry about it.
I got a handcuff. I'm not that good. I couldn't
What
get to
time's the shift
knife.
change at the station, Zach?
Yeah, Zach, what time is the shift change? Are you telling them that information?
Listen, buddy. No.
I'm going to walk up to Eric and go like, "How don't we go to the, let's get out of here. Come on."
I got shot by a BB gun for you today, and I had to stop you from getting arrested. Come on, dude. My dad is gonna beat me to death.
I was just gonna let him stew and get all mad for no reason while I was watching from the top of the roof, and then you guys had to pop in. So I am sorry. I'm sorry you got hurt.
Somebody say stew? I want stew. I'm hungry.
You all are walking and talking, and you kind of go through this town, and as we see this town, there is a lot to be said about this place, and most of it is not necessarily always good. As you walk through, you see a number of friends that you used to talk to in grade school that you don't talk to anymore. You see that one person who you definitely did that one thing to their lawn, and they probably will never forgive you for it. See Mrs. Jones and her pies that she likes to leave on her kitchen window and opening it up so people can know that she definitely makes the best pies in town, but is probably the only person that cares about that. And then you eventually coast outside of town where you see the woods you guys all kind of congregate and go to. Describe to me, or describe to the audience, because I already know. Where are you all headed, and what does it look like?
Tommy is probably, his head is, on a swivel, nervously looking to make sure that nobody's following, and he's probably counting on one of the others to walk the correct path because he's too busy looking everywhere but the right way. We are walking through the forest. We're turning at a couple of various innocuous looking things that are actually landmarks for us until eventually reaching one slightly unusual looking tree somewhere deep in the forest that we have to climb a little bit up, and there in a hollow form somewhere is one of those small doors, kind of like on top of a submarine. You have to turn the thing and that pops open.
Tommy, you don't have to be nervous about it every time. Nobody else knows about this place.
Yeah, well, I mean, I figured Paul might try to follow us. I wanted to make sure that he wasn't, behind us.
You mean Pete?
Pete, too.
Pete.
He might have followed us as well.
Pete,
we got in a fight with Pete, but Paul is like our version of like the Hamburglar. He just chases us around town and tries to like pull hijinks and steal things from us when we're not looking. So we always got to be on alert for Pete or for Paul.
Look, there's that one room that even I can't get back open sometimes. Just they follow us in, lead them in there, lock them in overnight. They won't do it again.
Chuck, we
But then they'll know who we are.
We have to have a real conversation about
Your war crimes.
your behavior, Chuck.
Hey, these are valid military strategies, according to my grandpa.
As we kind of clamber down into our secret hideout.
You're all set here. You take some time to kind of recuperate. Go ahead and say, Chuck, you can go ahead and alleviate your injuries. You kind of banded it up with the stuff that's around the hideout and remove that quell. And you all are hanging out here. What do you all usually do on a typical day after school? It's an average Wednesday.
Probably just kick back. Today specifically, Zach is not done with Chuck. Once we kind of I'm imagining we've like hauled a bunch of like kind of slightly defunct like folding lawn chairs and maybe like an old beanbag or two, just like stuff we've like picked off of people's curbs to bring down here to furnish our hideout. And as we're sitting, I do want to Zach kind of like says to Chuck, he's like, seriously, dude, that was not okay. You can't be like bringing weapons to school, and you super can't be pulling them out at people. And like I talked to Carol, to Officer Carol, and like seems like things are cool, but we got super lucky. Like, yeah, Pete is like a giant penis that they taught to walk around like a man, but like that's not okay. That could have been really bad, dude.
Yeah, somebody could have gotten hurt.
Nobody was supposed to get hurt, but I snapped when I saw him shoot you guys. I didn't know if you were. I didn't know where he hit you, and I just snapped and I lost it.
I
I'm
appreciate
sorry.
the protective sentiment. I do, man, but I know your grandpa has like a lot of theories about stuff and a lot of stories, but when we're at school, just for your own sake, I'm not even asking for me. Just you gotta try. You can't do stuff like that.
Yeah, they might send you away to like military school or something.
I'd like to see him try.
It's also, I don't think that your grandfather is like the best role model. I mean, it's a 4th of July barbecue. I heard him say Geneva Convention, more like Geneva Suggestions. So
Yeah, he does like that joke.
and so,
Yeah, maybe you're
problematic.
right. It's not easy being on the wrong side of town. I don't like it. I don't like it when people do that to other people. So I don't care if I get hurt that much, but I don't like to see other people get hurt.
Well, I do want to thank you for stepping in between him and me. I'm pretty sure that you saved me from another busted nose.
just shoot what's left of it. Yeah,
I'm sorry that you got one. I'm just gonna start fixing this radio here.
sure.
You go ahead and start
I know.
fixing it, and you kind of get the tweaks of it, and you start to hear a little bit of sound. If the face of the radio is off, you get a little bit of the sound going, and you feel like this connecting here, it plugs in. I can get full sound off of the speaker. I can close the mouth and actually get a working radio.
I think I got it.
You go to turn it on, and as you turn it on, you hear the whirring of sound. At first, when you first hit it off, you hear. Stop this. You all end up hearing this music. And
I should point out that's not going to come through to the chat.
Hear this old setup is done. You end up hearing this old timey kind of record. Sounds like it could be old German or European opera through a record player. And this is most interesting to you, Chuck, because I'm pretty sure you probably have a record like that somewhere. At least Grandpa does. As soon as it stops, you hear a complete shift of music. And then all of a sudden you kind of catch a news flash. And from the news flash, there are sounds of helicopter whirring and people kind of making all of these kind of loud kind of screaming noises. They're not quite sure what's going on. And then you hear a reporter saying, I'm here on the scene, and I'm trying to get as much information as I can. It seems like there are people here at the hospital who are talking about the dark uh, faces that are finding them in their dreams and attacking them. We also have reports that some people are saying that there are wild animals in the woods that are biting at them. Um, some individuals claim that they've seen individuals with black masks over their faces. We're not quite sure what is happening here, but we're trying to get a report on things. And then you hear one of the doctors who was at the scene. God, here's the problem with this: getting names of people in different areas is pretty difficult. Uh, that one person, shout out to Matt for that, Michael for that NPC, but the doctor, you'll know him as the doctor. None of you all probably met him, but he kind of talks and he says, "Yeah, we have a number of patients waking up from this strange illness that we haven't been able to find out about more information. Right now, it's just a developing form of cancer, but we believe that there is be a cure that's happening that we're not quite sure. We just had a couple of choice drugs that came into our market, and we've been trying to do the best that we can to. Dr. Marcus, thank you, Dr. Marcus. We just had some a new medication that came in that we're testing out as much as we can, but it seemed to be working. We got our resident town librarian back up and running. It seems like she's going to be pretty soon moving out and feeling well. We've got a lot of healthy folks here, and it's great. But at the same time, they're talking about these terrible visions that they're seeing, and things that they're talking about. I've been here at the hospital the whole time, and I don't know. I haven't seen anything myself. The reporter's like, "Oh, more news on this report later," and then it kind of crashes out and then goes back to a regular song. I mean, probably Tina Turner. It's most likely Tina Turner.
I thought Grandpa had his pirate radio up again. I disabled it because he kept having the cops come to the house too many times. But that was weird. You guys all hear that?
How close is the hospital to our hideout?
I will switch you all over to the mega map. So,
Mega map.
Mega map.
mega map.
That was certainly shocking news, especially right now in 1984. If it was some future year like, I don't know, 2020, that might seem pretty on brand. But here in 1984, this is shocking.
So you all are the purple square in this forest area, and the hospital you can see, Boulder City Hospital, is not too far away. You could probably keep to the woods and then make it back through the golf course and kind of cycle through the golf course to the hospital, or try and take that street, what is it, Buchanan Boulevard down, straight on down.
Right. Well, that's not.
Oh, you all can't see it. Silly me.
I found the high school.
There's
Yeah, I
a
see the golf
hospital.
course.
I do see the hospital. I'm just not sure where. That's where we are. Okay.
Okay.
Layers. Roll 20.
That sounds like something nuts is going on at the hospital. That's.
Yeah,
You could cut through
I'd
the golf
heard
course
the
and be there in, like,
librarian
20
was
minutes.
sick, but cancer? And they cured it?
You said there was it sounded like a commotion was happening where the reporter was.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of screaming, a little bit of fast talking. You hear kind of like cars going. There's some sirens going on in that area as well.
What the hell is going on? We should we can be there in like 20 minutes if we move quick, if we cut through the golf course.
I mean, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble later. I'd rather have a little bit of fun first, so let's go check it out.
All right.
Are you all packing up anything? You're looking for anything while you're here in the bunker? I know you don't have your pencil.
I'm gonna grab up a flashlight since I have no idea how late I'm gonna be out, and it seems like a good idea to have one.
Okay. Flashlight will give you +1 on investigate.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for like a crowbar or something.
It's
I'm
easy
gonna
enough.
try and
You
stop
put
him
it
from
first.
picking up another weapon.
It's not for people. Well, hopefully,
If
you know,
you
it's for doors.
if you pinky promise me that it's not for people, you can take the crowbar.
You should
I'll
also
tell you
say
what.
this because it didn't happen in the last game, but I have a weird sneaking suspicion it's going to happen in this game. So, kid-on-kid combat. When you have kid-on-kid combat, I will give you all will tell me what you all are doing in the action, and depending on what it is, you all will make contested checks, and the person with the higher successes will narrate how this goes. If you two both roll the same number of successes, I will narrate how well you do. If you both roll zeros, I will talk about like how both of you suffer some sort of condition.
Zach,
So that's clear.
I just
I
say like,
will let.
go ahead.
I can't do that. But what if I leave it to you? I won't hit anybody with this unless you say to.
I say okay. Unless we run into a murderer, there should be no reason to hit anybody with a crowbar. Let's make that deal. I said
Okay.
if we get into a situation where crowbarring is appropriate, I'll let you know.
Also, why does the crowbar say Plan A on it?
That's where I left that. Okay.
All right.
That was a funny gift that one of my friends gave my dad. He gave him a pair of crowbars. One had Plan A on it. The other had Plan. That's where that went.
Wow. I think it's
I would
stupid.
say crowbar for you. Who's holding the crowbar?
Chuck will.
Yeah.
It will be a plus. It's going to be a +1, and I'm going to probably switch it up. You just tell me which way you're using it. It's going to be a +1 to either force to like use it forcefully, or
Okay.
+1. Oh, that makes sense. If you're trying to pry something open or beat it over the head, then it's just going to be force. So there you go. +1 to
Okay, so
force.
it's just a +1 to force, yeah.
I'm gonna grab my my spare sweatshirt that I keep in the hideout, my Knight Rider hoodie, and I'm gonna throw that on under my jean jacket.
That is a +1 to sneak.
Okay.
And I'm going to change into my going out cape.
The +1 to
So-
charm.
So +1 to getting dunked in a toilet.
You definitely get +1 to charm.
Items add.
Oh yes. Need to add that.
Okay.
Flashlight. +1 to investigate. There we go. Double check that's got good batteries. Yes, it does. Goes into goes into his backpack. Takes a moment, lifts the backpack. Now I can do that homework tomorrow. It's fine. He sets a few books out, so he's traveling a bit light.
All right, sounds good. Matt, just remind me, how are we doing on time? Should we take a break?
It's be a good time for a break. We got about an hour left in our time slot.
Cool. Then yeah, we'll take a break right here. We're gonna dive into whatever is going on at this hospital.
Bum, bum, bum.
Do-do-do.
Alrighty. Before I dump us to break here, I do want to just remind everybody again. If you missed the first couple of minutes of our episode, I am encouraging people to make bits donations tonight to Proficiency Bonus. I'm keeping track of any bits that we receive. Myself and a couple of the other guys here are going to be matching bit donations that are received and putting that money towards a donation towards Black Lives Matter. I also have some links that will go up at the end of the episode with some website links, further resources, where if you don't want to donate bits directly to us, you can make a donation directly to one of these few organizations. So thanks for sticking with us, and we'll be back in a second. And we're back.
Hello. Welcome back. We are here for part 2 of our Boulder City, Nevada Tales from the Loop. We just had some interesting introductions into our fun friends here. We'll scuffle, bringing up some rough patches with some parents who are police, and other Officer Harris, who's just generally having a bad day all around. You all kind of go back to your bunker to lick some wounds, and overhear through the radio that it's going down at the neighborhood hospital. So you all suit up. A quick montage of everybody kind of suiting up in their usual gears. Seems like they're going to go and investigate some mystery. So hop on your bikes. I'm assuming that you probably had scooching on by, and you kind of.
Eric definitely has like a scooter, right? He doesn't have a bike.
No, I have. Yeah, I also have the cape rolls up, and I have Velcro that like rolls up in the back, so I don't have to worry about.
No cape.
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing. You all bike your way down the path, and as you're biking, before you get fully to the hospital, I will say that come up with better voices. I'm already thinking about my voice work. Tommy, you see as you guys are skirting past the rounding bend, were you all planning on cutting through the golf course or go like down the street proper?
I would think we'll probably cut through. Tommy is probably, once again unhappy. We shouldn't be doing this. We're going to ruin the grass. People are going to be upset. But, at this point, Zach's already, and, Chuck's, pedal to the metal. And so it's like, all right.
You should probably not do this to the grass. You hear from a distance, almost like an echo, boys, you probably shouldn't do that to the grass. And you look up, and it is your dad, Patrick Miller.
Oh,
I'm
sorry, Dad. Look, guys, let's get off the grass. Hi, Dad.
Oh, God, I thought we were going to be in trouble for a second. It was just Tommy's dad.
Hey, boys. You can always bike on the road there. That's much better.
All right,
sorry,
hurry.
Sorry, Mr. Miller.
But the road sucks.
Oh, no worries. Where are you all headed to?
Church.
Make a charm roll.
Yeah, we're not going to Eric. We're not going to church, Dad. We're just headed up Buchanan.
Well, let me make my roll.
Dude, Tommy's dad knows we're Jewish. Like, what?
We got some literature, and we just want to check our options.
Okay.
I don't like character sheet come up. What the hell's happening here? Oh, there we go.
Well, if you're in a hurry, I can always get my little minivan. You can always pop one in. And you know what? We can head on over to that Echo Burger. It's a nice little hamburger.
Zero successes on that charm, by the way.
No, I'm not hungry right now, Dad. I'll be back. I'll be back home tonight, well before curfew. But no, I'm okay.
Are you sure? It's just a ride around the corner. You boys just put your bikes down. I'm gonna go get the minivan.
Hey, Mr. Miller, if you see my mom at the Echo Burger, can you tell her I'll be late tonight? And then they'll keep riding.
We can always ride on over. You can say hi to her. It'd be nice to see.
No, it's okay. We're just heading over.
I wouldn't mind seeing Chuck's mom.
I swear to God, Eric.
I'm sorry, but you have a hot mom and you have to accept it, Chuck.
He starts to walk away. He doesn't seem like he's paying much attention to you all, but he's definitely seeming to start up the Winnebago.
As like when he sort of like turns away from us and goes like to go over to his car, like, okay, cool, yeah, we'll be right there. And then I'm just like, all right, guys, cheese it.
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
All of you all make me a move check.
Oh boy!
See how fast you guys survive. The person probably with the 0 successes is going to catch his eye.
Yeah.
Oh! Nice.
Are you kidding?
Did everybody get 2 except for you?
I haven't rolled mine yet.
No, Eric did poorly.
I got 1.
Oh, wait, no, hold on.
We all succeeded.
Yeah, I got a 1. Okay. I was looking at the wrong thing where I had a 0 success, and I was like, come on.
Or move. Just want to make sure. Paul, specifically speaking, Nick and Tommy, the time that you all need to GTFO away from an authoritative, a parent figure, you will automatically take a success the next go around. It's particularly talking about you, Tommy, your dad, obviously. If you try and run away from him again, you will automatically get 1 success. And then, Eric, it's if you are running away from someone's parent, you automatically get 1 success. But yeah, you guys managed to go. And as you guys are biking away, you get far away from him and he turns and is like, I just got to warm it up. Oh, okay.
It's like, sorry, we're committed to fitness.
You all make your way out of his view.
Oh man,
you.
I'm gonna be in so much trouble when I get home.
I would say, surprisingly enough, he seemed pretty chill than usual. You get a sense that where you guys were at, he seemed like he was obviously golfing, but he was wearing his casual clothes, not his laboratory clothes. You got a sense that he was probably golfing with someone, but you're not sure who. You didn't have much time to kind of stick around and see.
Oh yeah, today is his golf day.
So you seem like you got off real easy on this one. But you make it over to the hospital. You guys said that you are taking Buchanan on down, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Going to mark this fun little place that I just found existed in this world. It's a weird color for a restaurant. Lime green. So you all would see here is the town burger shop called Echo Burger. It's kind of a quick drive-through type of restaurant, and it's one of those places where the waiters kind of rollerblade out into the area and put the food on your car, and you get to eat on the car side. And you can drive through the area and just kind of hang out. You notice as you all are biking that there is a slowed pace in Chuck's biking, as it hits him pretty hard to see his mom actually on rollerblades struggling to get someone's meal to their car.
Zach, I gotta use
See that
this.
she spends a good probably 10 minutes trying to keep balance as she gets the food up to the car, and right when it gets up there, the entire tray just splashes on the side of this person's car. She starts yelling at the person as if it's that person's fault.
Chuck, your mom is bad at that. She's real bad at that.
I punch Eric in the upper arm, like come on,
Eric.
I think she's I think she's on the salsa work again. Not too many more restaurants she can work at. Let's just keep going.
Now the sauce is on the car, so she spilled it everywhere.
Eric.
I punch him again.
Easily enough, you guys kind of scooch on by that area. Obviously, you guys will probably keep a wide berth in that sense. So you kind of circle back around, maybe through the grass again, around to the area, and you get to the hospital. And as you pull up, it is pandemonium. You see that there are reporters kind of left and right in different areas. You see that people are kind of like muttering themselves. You see that there are some folks that are being kind of tied up into straitjackets, and they're actually being kind of ducked into this white truck. And you see some other folks who are being ushered back into the room and talking to like ambulance, paramedics, and first responders, kind of going back into the space. But it just seems like everybody's just kind of acting hysterically left and right. Zach, you also noticed that there is a small, kind of skittish girl, Sadie, trying to walk in to get her nose looked at as well.
I go like, oh man, look at that. That's a very interesting portion of what's happening here. As I like direct everybody's attention away from where she's walking in until she goes inside.
You try and point at the front door where it seems like a lot of the stuff is just like heavily happening, and not at the girl that's walking through the grass. But you realize that the longer that you keep your finger pointing that direction, the more that she walks into the line of pointing view, to the point where it almost looks like if she turned and looked at you now, it looked like you would be pointing at her face.
I'm like, I didn't. This was poorly executed.
Isn't that Sadie?
I'm not. My shame continues.
Go ahead, just because I'm curious to see what will happen if this does work out. Eric, make me a charm roll.
Okay, it worked out so well last time.
She is like holding her nose, and she hears her name, and she turns over and sees you kind of calling out Eric, and you see her kind of shyly kind of wave. And as she's waving, you actually see that there is a guy that kind of comes up and just kind of bumps into her. And as she bumps into her, she kind of trips and falls onto her knee. But then she kind of stands herself up, and you see another person kind of coming through. You get a sense that there's a lot of busyness happening here, and she's just trying to see if she can like back away from it, but like also see if she can try and get in. She seems just as confused as the rest of you all.
Is there
fall on her face?
What?
Well,
At least she didn't fall on her face.
Oh.
Going on?
You think there's a back door? Pretty sure there's a back door to the hospital. You want to try to sneak around back and see if we can get in?
I don't know if I want to go into the hospital. There's got to be somebody around here who like knows what's going on, right? I just kind of look around at the crowd.
You guys do see that there's clearly a path that goes around to the back area. This is obviously like the emergency entrance, but there is also like the other side that is like pediatrics or no, I'm to remind myself, I live in a big city. This is a very small 2-floor hospital. There's not a different department. It is the emergency side and then the everyone else side. It's not an emergency.
The main entrance.
There you go. Yes.
Wow, and there's a sign that says pediatric coming soon when town is bigger.
Yeah.
That sign's been up there since I moved in.
It's like been there since 1926.
But you all can easily kind of go there. There is what seems to be a more fenced off area, and behind that you see some of the older kind of robotics that are there. I would say, Tommy, you would probably be more familiar with some of the stuff. There's what used to be back in when you were a little kid. They used to have these machines that would come in and quickly store up tanks for these robots that would go in and kind of like give people like an encasement. You would kind of go into like what is considered like a cryogenic dome, and then it would like freeze off any sort of burns, scabs, or problem like minor things, and it will open up and you would come out. But that had to be fueled for a lot of stuff. So there was this little service tank that came in. Um, you see that on the other side, this like no longer in service tank is just kind of lingering there, and there seems to be some other scrap metals that are just kind of hanging around the area. But that's all behind a fence, a big huge fence next to the hospital, and there's a small little alley that kind of goes into the back of the hospital proper.
I mean, if you want to sneak in, probably through the old where the robots are.
Do we want to sneak in, or do we want to see if we can't? So help me, spirits, go in with Sadie and see if we can't get some information out of somebody. I might have a plan.
I like that option.
I got a plan, but I'm not allowed to use it.
Mainly because I want to see you fish things up with Sadie more.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, maybe we can overhear something.
Well, let's see how it works out, Geg. We got to get closer to figure out anything. I want to know what's going on here. And
you guys are moving into the crowd.
Is Sadie's like heading towards trying to get to like the ER door essentially?
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, yeah, I want to try and like catch up with her a little bit.
You're all moving together in that direction.
Oh, I got an idea. Zach, roll up your sleeve. The one the arm that's hurt.
I'm like, smart boy, Tommy Miller. That was my exact plan.
Really?
Yes, sir. And I take my one sleeve off of my jacket and pull my sweatshirt to pull my my arm with the welt, like out of my t-shirt.
What? Easy enough to do. You two kind of having this idea, kind of spearhead the group forward. Chuck, you're not too far behind. However, Eric, and you start walking closer towards the group. You see one person, 6 people, 8 people, 12 people, and before you know it, you are surrounded by a huge number of folks. And the more that you get closer to them, the more that you realize that they're one person that's looking at you and 3 people looking at you. And all of a sudden, you slowly look around and everyone in the crowd is staring directly at you. No one's responding to anything. In a distance, clearing their throat. A small boo. Another small boo. Before you know it, you just hear a cacophony of just like hooing and booing in your direction. Yes, that. And freeze in place. The rest of y'all are moving forward, and as you get closer into the crowd, you realize looking back that Eric is not moving.
Do we see
Eric?
him or we've lost him?
I would say with your your general character's movement, you would have probably gotten a good headway on everybody else. So when you turn around, you don't see your brother anymore.
Okay.
I would say Tommy probably noticed Eric slow down, so he would probably slow down a little bit. And Chuck, you would probably, because you were falling behind the two of them, you would have probably caught him initially stop.
Oh. I think your brother's having an episode again. I'll go get him.
He probably spotted somebody he thinks is a good mark for close-up magic. Let's.
I got him. You start getting information. I'll go grab him.
Oh no,
It's fine.
we gotta get back together.
All right, let's go. I'll just kind of make my way in.
If we're like near the door-ish or whatever, I'm not necessarily gonna like move. I don't like if Chuck is going back or whatever. I would just be like. At this point, Zach's assumption is like he's trying to do a card trick for somebody or something, and he's like, "We'll be along in a second." I don't know that I haven't like a cause for alarm at this point.
Yeah, you definitely catch up to Sadie right away, and she turns and she's like, "Do you know what's going on?"
I said, "No, we heard the radio. There was like it sounded like it was something nuts was going on. We came to try and find out. I was gonna see if I could figure out what's going on, and we saw you heading in. I feel responsible for.
No. It's totally fine. My face was stupidly in the way of the ball. I'm fine. I was just gonna go and see if maybe they had some, extra bandages in case this might be, something I'll have to like clean up sometime. I just ran out. I'm not like actually trying to go into an emergency. This is not an emergency. Oh my god, I'm totally fine. And you see that she's actually getting a little bit more self-conscious because you notice that your eyes have kind of slowly start to focus in on her nose where there are small droplets of blood coming out of the napkin where it's covered up her face.
So she gets flustered. Zach starts getting flustered. He's like, "No, I mean I didn't mean to insinuate that your nose looks great. I mean, it doesn't look great. I hit it with a soccer ball and it's all messed up. No, it's not messed. No, it's fine.
Tommy's just glancing between the two of them, and he slowly reaches into a pocket and he's looking for a handkerchief, which since I don't actually have one listed on my character sheet, I suppose I don't have.
No. I would say that you searching for it, you pull out one of actually your little doohickey trinkets that you were using to be a paper roller. The idea is that like you'll be able to put this on a calculator, and if you put it on a calculator, you can actually press buttons and you can print out the numbers in a faster process. So that when you take the roller off, you can put it on any other device and then use it as a keyboard typer. To you're trying to come up with this term that maybe it may be like the pocket writer or the hand writer. You're thinking maybe you want to call it like text message, but you're not quite sure. Nothing's really landing yet. But you take it out and you unravel some of the paper off of it. And you're able to tear that and hand it to her. And she's like, "Thank you so much." And she kind of like goes to see if she could like dabble her nose, but realizes that there's an entire like essentially a face mask of gauze that's just over her nose. And so she just kind of wipes the outside of the gauze with the sheet of paper, and it instantly turns red as soon as it touches. It's like, "Thank you so much. That was really sweet of you. I'm gonna go now. I don't want to." Right, and she kind of like walks away awkwardly. As you go to kind of like,
Tommy, our school nurse is really bad at their job. Like, they did a terrible job.
Funny that
right?
you assume that they have a solid school nurse. You all probably know because you've been at the school for a long time. The school nurse is also the resident janitor.
Oh God,
yeah.
Mr. 40?
Yeah, that tracks.
No wonder nobody goes there.
No wonder her nose bleeding's more.
So as you're kind of seeing Sadie go off, you go to reach to like talk to her again, and to your surprise, none other than your favorite person, Officer Mark Whitaker, turns and sees you amongst the crowd. And he rolls his eyes and just kind of crosses his arms. How did I know that you would be here in the center of all of this problem?
Maybe you're magic too. Maybe it runs in the family, and that's where Eric got it from.
Look, kid, get out of here. I don't want to have to deal with you and all of this.
I was just... My friend from school got hit in the face with a soccer ball in a unavoidable accident and I like look and I realize that Sadie's gone. I'm like, shh.
I don't.
What, Dad? What the heck is going on? Why are all these people going crazy? And I like look and I'm like, where the...
None of your business. You're a kid. Go be a kid and do kid stuff. Wish that you and your brother, but where's your brother?
He's telling somebody to pick a card. He's fine.
I told you to look after your brother. You have one job.
And he's here. I'm looking after my brother.
There goes over and he sees he actually sees you, Chuck, and he says, "You all over here?"
I'm making my way back to where I'm just ignoring him. I'm just going to.
He sees. I'll clarify. He sees Chuck kind of walking by. He turns back to you. Exactly.
Okay.
Like, are you all here?
I say, yeah. Yeah.
This is the middle of a. It's my job. This is panic. Why would you go walking into panic?
If you must know, besides the soccer ball incident, some dunce at our school thought he would be cute and brought his BB gun, and I got hit while I was trying to make sure he didn't shoot somebody else with it. And so I was just getting to make sure that it wasn't going to get infected.
You were playing BB guns with him, weren't you?
No, I wasn't. You never believed me.
Oh, he wasn't.
You always constantly get in trouble all the time. You know what? That's it. You, come with me. He kind of grabs you by the ear and he starts dragging you outside of the crowd.
Okay, so as he grabs me, I'm just like, Tommy, forget it. Like, just leave it. And I, like, go off with him.
He's actually snapping his fingers at Tommy. He tries to go over towards Chuck, and he's looking for Eric at this moment. Eric, how do you handle these moments of stress in this moment?
I'm just sort of completely frozen, just like, and then repeating, "Is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card?" And that's it.
Gosh, this is heartbreaking. The police officer comes up and he catches you Chuck, kind of slowly walking towards, and you see ear in tow. Zach is right behind him, and he looks over and he's like, God, he's having his episode again. Zach, do the thing," and he kind of pushes you in the direction of Eric.
Okay, so I give him like a look, like, yeah, I'll handle it. Is he like just so I like understand the scene here, like, are we still in the midst of like a kind of like a jostling crowd, or are we sort of away now at this point, like off to the side?
He's pulled you out of the jostling crowd, so you guys are just on the outside because Eric wasn't able to actually make it into the fray. So he's staying on the outside, and he's just watching, in his mind, everybody in the crowd just stare at him.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over kind of towards Eric as he's as he's doing this, and I sort of kind of get close to him and say, Eric, hey.
Is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card?
That's my card. You got it.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Magic, baby.
That's a good trick, Eric. The sleight of hand's getting pretty good. But you probably didn't see while you were focusing. But I like nod like, Dad's here.
Oh, yay!
Hey, kids, get in the car.
We were going to church.
Thought that I could trust you all to handle yourselves, but clearly he looks at you specifically, Zach. How to just not get into trouble. We're going to the station. Everybody in. Opens the door and forces the four of you all to try and squeeze into the back seat.
Okay.
Let's see this car.
As you all are driving away, say this: how would you all situate yourselves in the back seat of the car?
I mean, I would probably resist quite a lot of getting put into a squad car. So like whoever is least resistant would probably be the furthest over to the side.
Probably me.
Tommy goes in willingly.
It's more of he points and Tommy's like, okay.
The other two go begrudgingly in the middle, and I'd probably be jammed in and have the door slammed on my face.
Yep.
On the other side.
Do you all have a preference, Eric or Zach, who is like further in or further on the outside?
Not really.
I'd probably say that your dad, knowing enough about the situation with Eric, would know how to handle it. He wouldn't know how to say words about it, so he wouldn't react. He just kind of talks to you, Zach, to talk to Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, I think he would kind of force or emphasize you to get Eric into the car, and then you would get in. In that moment, Tommy and Chuck, you all can make me, I would say, Tommy, make me a investigate. And I would say, no, take that back. I would say Tommy make me a comprehend, and Chuck make me an investigate.
Let's see, comprehend.
2 successes.
You can choose before. Oh, he rolled already. It doesn't matter. Cool. You look out the window, and as you see everybody kind of getting situated and Papa Cop getting to the front, you see on the side of the building of the hospital, there is a mysterious figure with a black mask kind of covering his face. He sees you all get into the car. And as you all are driving away, you see that he is walking up toward... No, I'll stop there for you. Chuck, you would also see this guy walking by, but you see that he seems to go and tap Sadie on the shoulder, and when she turns, you all turn the car away, and you don't see what happens after that. Driving in the backseat of this car as you are heading to the station. Anything happen in this scene, or are we just jumping to the police station?
I would probably just like nudge. I think Zach would be next to me since I'd be the last in the car. Just nudge Zach and say, "Saw some dude with like a black mask or something. Just go talk over to Sadie. I don't know what's going on. I think he was on the roof."
Like, kind of like I whisper back. I say like, he's not gonna listen. Like he's in one of his moods. We just play it cool at the station. Let him get whatever this is out of his system, and then we can go check it out ourselves.
All right. That radio broadcast about, was it faceless black masks? I don't know. I don't remember. It's hard to remember sometimes, but there's some wacky stuff going on over there. We really got to get back as soon as we can.
And I say like, maybe if Carol's there, my dad's partner, we catch one of them. Carol's
I'll let
a
you
nudge,
deal
but
with
she
that.
listens, and just, he's not gonna have anything. He's not gonna care what we say. So just play it cool. We'll try and get out of this as quick as we can.
I can pretend to be compliant for 10 minutes. It's fine.
Right.
You all make your way to the precinct where I'll follow Billy in. The car parks into its usual parking space. You see your dad kind of open the door and just kind of point at the precinct front door, expecting you all to get out.
Yeah, we know the drill. Stop on.
I'll walk in and you see there is a woman. No, there's a person sitting at the front desk, secretary. Can you tell me a little bit about who that person is?
Me? I don't know. I don't know who this person is. Is this somebody I'm supposed to know?
You see this person pretty often. It's the first dispatcher. Usually the person that kind of handles business meetings. For you all as kids, you probably see this person sitting at the desk all the time, waiting to either be collected by your dad or to go see your dad. This is this area you know to be the initial waiting room.
Okay. So I'll go.
The secretary of some sort.
Hey Debbie, how's it going?
Hi! Oh, look at you! You just got so tall. Look at those cheeks. You're just so adorable. Oh, is that a cape? You got a cape there, darling?
Yeah, it's a cape.
Oh, that's just so charming. Did you bring your kids in, Officer Whitaker? And he just gives her this death glare, and he kind of keeps on walking. She's like, "All right, it's all you." And she gives you a little wink, Zach, as you kind of walk by.
I kind of like.
You all kind of make your way into the area, and you do happen to see Officer desk. She is sitting. What you all notice as you guys are walking through this area is that there's probably police officers in just about every other seat, but it seems like across from her, it's empty desk. And the guy who's sitting here actually has moved his desk somehow into this corner. And he seems completely separated from the rest of the group. It seems like Officer Harris has just kind of got her own spot. She has her head like buried in paperwork. And as she's writing things down, she looks up and over, seeing you four come in through this area. And she's like,
Carol?
That's Officer Harris.
Officer Carol?
Chuck, as you walk by, you do see on this desk is the trench knife, as it seems like she is writing out in extensive detail this item that she found. And as you walk by, you can catch enough that she wrote WW2 ? Are you for real ? Under weapon. You all kind of continue going into the back area where Officer Whitaker takes you to his desk. Sits down with Zach. And it's like, all right, boys, what are we gonna do here? treat you all criminals you clearly want to be. Word that there was some sort of fight that happened at this school. I want to try and explain something to me.
So there's this kid who's a real douchebag. When he tried to start a fight, and Chuck kind of finished it.
I said, I say, colorful language aside, he's not far off. There's this kid Pete. I don't know. He's got a bone to pick with everybody. He's got stupid hair, and
He smokes in school.
Poor character. He was trying to give Tommy a tough time, and we told him to back off because we didn't want any trouble. And then he decided that he wanted to get in a fight with Chuck, and then Chuck wasn't going to fight, and nobody was going to fight, but we were just like bystanding way away from him. And I was talking to my friend about a soccer ball accident that she had earlier, and he saw me, and I wasn't even talking to him or doing anything to him, and I like show him again, and I'm like, and he shot me with his BB gun, and then Chuck stepped in to keep him from shooting other people with his BB gun, and then a teacher broke up the fight. That's it. That's all that happened. We didn't start anything with anybody. I don't know why you're dragging us in here.
Also, the teacher insists on us calling him Neil, which I find very unprofessional and creepy, and that should also be addressed at some point in the future. Just weird.
So how did this World War II knife come into play?
I don't know. I was on the ground from my BB gun injury at the time.
And I was looking at my cape.
Chuck is just staring at them in the hardest scared child face he can possibly make.
He's gonna look at you because you seem to be the one that is sweating the most. It kind of gets kind of very close to the side of your face, and he's like, "That one kid with the thing, yeah, you know, the thing."
Exactly.
Love it when I lose my words. Oh, here you go. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, that one sapper's grand job, right? Loose cannon that goes babbling about the towers down the way all the time. Kind of look like him.
You say one more bad thing about my grandfather, I'm going to give you a reason to keep me here.
Dad, listen.
Oh, no. You listen. Oh, exactly what happened here. I'll have a real interesting way of explaining your stories.
There was going to be a fight, and I de-escalated it. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? De-escalate the situation?
I would.
And I helped.
Weapons, son.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't hear it.
Hang out with kids who have weapons. And just go letting you walk around stabbing people and brandishing a knife in school. How long have you had this blade, son?
He's very intentionally not saying anything.
Also, nobody got stabbed.
Make me an empathize roll.
Good thing I put hard as my dump stat.
Nice. You manage to kind of keep your breath in. You don't crack too much. And as he leans in, you notice that the first time you kind of inspecting him, inspecting you, you see a sense of fear in his eyes. The sense that there's something that has shaken him to his core. Said I can't have you all just roaming around making vigilante work. Can't have these things out in the streets. I don't care what they have. It's my job to take care of that. It's not your job to play heroes. Lucky that you just got that bruise on your shoulder. You've gone down much worse. That you all leave me no choice. I'm gonna go into one of those jail cells and you're gonna chill out there until I get off of work. Goes to look for his on his belt.
As I guess I'm like, what's the question I want to ask here? I guess as the son of a police officer, do I know like? Can I pull the you're not legally allowed to put us in a jail cell because we're minor cards on him, or can I is that, you know what I mean?
Could you just know that, like you said, when he gets in his moods, he's in his moods, so he's probably not thinking straight.
Okay.
So you can do it, but you know that you would be introducing this trouble right now.
Okay.
You'll be taking this trouble right now.
Now I just sort of whatever.
But he does go to look at his pockets for his handcuffs, and he's like, oh, where did those things go? Oh, that's really strange. He turns back and he's like, hey, Harris, ever find your handcuffs? He's walks in and she's like, I'm sorry, what did you say, boss? It's like, the handcuffs. Did you find them? I was going to do a thing here. And the handcuffs to do the thing. And Officer Harris kind of looks at the four of you and looks at him and tries to understand what is happening in this room, but doesn't. She's like, no, I can't say that I exactly found my handcuffs, but I will say I did have them before and he turns to look specifically, obviously, just finding the easiest target goes straight back to Zach. He's like, oh, you know where the handcuffs are, son?
I'm kind of looking at Officer Harris. I'm like, you had him before what thing? There's a thing?
Kind of shrinks back and she's like, okay. So before I showed up to a school where there were children shooting and stabbing each other, I had intended to use my handcuffs to arrest someone. Also, and then she kind of cuts to Veer to talk about something else. She's like, I did find that they discovered something in the alleyway of the school. I guess they said that that's where the source of the smell was coming from. And he looks and cuts back and kind of does one of these numbers. She's like, okay, cool.
I just
so yeah, no, I don't have the cuffs.
Look at my gang. What? What's this?
He turns. He's like, "All right, look, fine. There's not going to be a thing today. I don't know where the cuffs are. There's things happening left and right in this town. Just gonna stay in my office, right? I'm gonna lock you in my office. you're gonna think about what you did, and you're gonna apologize to each other or whatever the kids do nowadays. And he kind of gets up and kind of walks out of the office, and he kind of turns to Officer Harris and he's like, "And you're coming with me, if you can, if you would like. Can you please come with me?" And he kind of walks out. She seems very incredulously confused by everything and kind of awkwardly closes the door, and you hear a lock on the door. You are now in this room by yourself, locked.
So you want to give it 10 minutes before you leave,
man.
or
I'm locked in a police office.
Tommy? It's all right.
Locked is a strong word.
Oh,
Hey, you probably should put the handcuffs back in his desk before he thinks to pat you down.
Yeah,
No. Put them under the desk. Put them under the desk.
it's cool.
Make it seem like you dropped them.
Okay, so I'll put Dad's back. What do we do with Harris's? Also, I may or may not have Debbie's handcuffed too.
He doesn't even have handcuffs. It's not even on.
They're fuzzy.
Those
How did
handcuffs
you-
in her drawer.
You didn't even get within like 10 feet of her desk. What?
Magic.
look, could you just put your dad's handcuffs under the desk and I don't know. Starts looking around. Is there anything like a coffee machine or like somewhere where there might be like he might have set up something like a box of donuts or a snack or something like that.
Be just outside of the door that's locked.
Damn.
So I go to put the handcuffs onto the desk. So I bent down a little bit. I'm like, also his gun's under here. It's real bad to hold on to his stuff.
No. Leave that. Leave them, please. Please leave them. Please.
Jesus Christ.
Look,
you
guys.
all are-
Look,
I just said, I'm like, Chuck, just keep looking out at the door. Something's going on at the school. Something's going on at the hospital. I want to look. Maybe Carol's got something in those papers she was writing. I want to have a look around.
you guys take 10 minutes. Give it enough time for them to go do what they're doing. I'll work on the door. We'll leave. We'll tell the receptionist that your dad made us stay here for a minute to think about what we did and then head home. We'll just tell her that's what he said. And we'll just leave.
say that, and before you all can even like do another action, you hear a thud. Sounds like a door bursting down. You immediately look up and you start to see that there's flashing lights on either side of the doors. You hear somebody calling out, and there's an alarm. All of a sudden, the room that you're in goes completely black.
Oh,
Here.
crap.
Just outside of the door. And there's a slight turn of the doorknob, slowly opens. Our two pots for today.
Ooh. Get that crowbar out! Weapons free! Crowbar! Permission! Permission! Permission!
This is fascinating. That is very fascinating. You guys got a whole different section of town, but also like a lot of the same characters. Thank you guys so much. We are definitely going to do a part 2 then. I'm more than happy to do a part 2. You had some really interesting intro storylines. You have some very fascinating characters. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Already looking forward to wearing those retainers for another 3 hours.
Solid choice. Solid choice. Cool.
Good. I haven't worked up to a full panic attack with this character yet.
Yeah. You had some moments. You guys got The other group got some conditions pretty early on. With dropping an egg, they had a whole nother thing with like an egg, but which I find funny because now the whole school smells like eggs. But you all had quite a bit of conditions that were about to make its way into there, and got a interesting relationship with Officer Pops. Ugh. Sticky, sticky, sticky.
Oh boy, I'm
Alrighty.
excited to see where this goes.
Fun game. So, I'm gonna jump back into my my old host pajamas right now before we back off. Lip, thank you for DMing this for us. And,
Yeah, this is a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed this.
Especially after coming off and DMing something before immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before that.
Lip has been dealing with. I can only hope that I didn't get to watch all of it. The part that I did see, it looked like they were more like kind to you than we were. The last group where we're a real handful.
It's a bundle of
so
joy.
Lip's been
Our
doing this for about
friendship
6
and
hours.
this gun
now.
I found.
But thank you for doing this. We'll definitely we'll talk about some plans. Maybe we'll continue this this next week in our slot. Or maybe we'll find another time. We'll see what happens. But thank you for doing this. Thank you guys for coming and playing. I liked getting to be just one character for once instead of all of them. That was nice. And I appreciate everybody who stuck with us and watched tonight and hung around in chat and was commenting and talking along with us. So once again, thank you for joining us. We will be back in some fashion next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have more of this to see where this goes. We have some big changes and big new exciting things coming for our regular D&D game. I'm gonna look into this system more because I quite like this, and I see why people gravitate towards this over like a full-fledged polyhedral dice set type of game. There's a lot more like flow to it. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and of course, please be sure if you can drop us a few bits as a donation. We're matching anything that we get today to make a donation in Tabletop Legends and Proficiency Bonuses named to Black Lives Matter. I'm going to pop some resources up on the screen here for a few minutes after we go off the air, and I encourage you, if you don't want to donate bits here, to reach out to those and give if you can, and if you can't, please just do whatever you can in any other way that you're able, whether it's if it's not fiscally, whether it might be donating time, but certainly try and research what you might be able to do in your area. So I thank you guys for joining us tonight. Again, Lip, thank you for DMing for us.
Yes, thank you.
And
Very good job.
we will close this out, and we will see you all next week.
Hey.